So I've been talking about this product in the past several videos. Every video I'm like, I'm gonna make a review on it. I have yet to make that video, but now it's here, finally. My bad. This is the motorcycle blower that I've been using to blow out the standing water on the exterior of the engine bay or after a wash. And I use it also for the interior to blow out any debris, pet hair, anything that needs to be loosened up in the interior. So this is what I'll be reviewing, whether you should get it, what I like, and what I don't like about it. So for starters, I don't get technical about anything. I don't care about the text, to be honest. I don't even know the dang name of this product because it's something I don't need to care about. I'm gonna link it down below for you guys. So don't ask me what it's called, just check the link because I also don't know or don't care. Anyhow, so this is it's not gonna compare next to like your big boys, to your Master Blaster. It has the same functionalities in terms of it has both a variable speed setting of low and high on airflow. On airflow. And you can also have it on heat and low heat. So it has heating capabilities. And it's $85 around there, right? Maybe they might change it later, but it's 85 bucks. It's not gonna compare to your big boy or your Master Blaster where you're getting, 8 horsepower and it's like gonna blow the car off. So it's not gonna be to that degree, and I'm absolutely okay with that. For 85 bucks compared to like the whatever $200, $300, $400 price range that those go for, I'll still take this any day. Now it does bring wheels if you'd want to make it a bit more mobile. I don't. The reason why I don't want to make it mobile is just because when I am working around the vehicle, this stretches out to around 12 feet, I think. So it collapses once you turn it on. It expands. And then once you turn it off, it coils back up or whatever. So when I do that, I basically just have to put it on one side of the vehicle, do one side, and then just move it over to the next. I don't need it crawling around when I'm moving around, just because I'm on driveways a lot or the gravel might be uneven, and I just don't want it to move around. So I don't put on the wheels. It comes with wheels or whatever it's called, and you can make it more mobile, but I just like to keep it without the wheels. On the settings, you have the airflow high, and then you have it on low. Now, do I know the actual horsepower that's putting out, or no, I don't. I don't care about that. So I typically keep it on the high one when I need to blow out a lot of debris, and then I'll typically put it on the low setting for the interior once we're done with the vehicle and I just want to blow off a little bit of the dust that's accumulated on the interior. I'll put it on the low setting. Now with the heater, I'm not a fan of that. I've used it. I've used the heating feature just to see how it works, and this is why you need this. Like, it actually does get hot. Like if you need the heater because you're drying a vehicle, if you want that, I really don't care about that. But if you want it, let me tell you, it does actually work. I don't use it. It's just not something that I care about, but I did try it a few times just to see how hot it get. Granted, when I was working outside, it also gets hot, so that's also gonna be added into the heating, why it gets hot. But it definitely does work. And I don't have a Master Blaster. I don't have a big boy. I don't have any of those expensive blowers, so I can't really compare, which one is stronger or how does it compare. I bought this one because of the review from Jimbo. He reviewed 3 of them, and I was like, that one looks good. So, and this is the one he recommended. So go check that out too. I'll probably link it down below if you want that full review of those 3. So this is why I purchased it, because of his review. So shout out to Jimbo for that one. Other than that, there are a lot. As of right now, absolutely love the machine. It came in handy. If you don't have an air compressor, I don't have an air compressor. This does about the same thing. Sure, the air compressor has different things that you can do with it, but as far as blowing standing water and blowing debris out of the interior at $85 in this small compact little thing, I'm gonna give it a 10/10. Highly would recommend. And this is starting to become one of those staples where like you have to have this in order to just work, because I mean, in the interior there's so many areas you can't reach, so many areas that you don't know that there's debris or crumbs, and then you turn this on, you start blowing, and then you're just shooting everything out, and it does for a better job. And for the exterior, same thing, just to blow out the debris, the standing water from the emblems, from the engine bay, from the wheels. Now I'm telling you, you're not gonna dry a full vehicle like this. Like maybe if it's completely polished, maybe if it's already coated, and there's just, if you have all that going for you, perhaps. but you're not gonna want to dry the entire vehicle because it's simply not strong enough. Like you'll want a Master Blaster or something like that if it's that strong. Like if it's coated and protected, if it's corrected and coated, you're already having a super easy time washing the vehicle. So you could probably get away with this, but I would recommend, like, off of just a daily driver that's not coated, not corrected or not coated, I would not recommend you dry off the entire vehicle with this. Maybe the windows, maybe portions of the fender, but definitely not the entire vehicle. That's not what this is about. Again, it's a motorcycle blow, so you know, for a motorcycle, sure, it has enough strength. For an entire vehicle, definitely not. And another reason why I do like this one over like a bigger unit, like a Master Blaster or a Big Boy brand, is just because, you know, those blowers get loud. Like, it's not that loud when you just have it on, but once you actually start pointing it towards something and it's blowing back at you and you have that high whistling sound, it just gets very annoying. And if you're using those big machines, you should really have some earmuffs or like something, some ear protection, because it gets loud. And if you're doing, you know, a couple cars a day, or you're doing a service that requires you to use this a lot, you just don't want to have this blasting in your ear for, you know, however long, 5, 10, 15 minutes. It's not good. Like, you shouldn't do that. So you will need ear protection with this one. Again, because it's not that strong, and just because I know I'm using it for very specific areas, it's not that big of a deal as far as noise, because it's not that strong. I'm using it for very limited usage across the vehicle. So that's also a plus. Now, a few cons to it, which, yeah, it's a con. So a few cons is that, you know, I just throw it in my vehicle. I store it in a small section. So sometimes, so here, right now it's in neutral, or it's in the off setting, right in the middle. If you want for low setting, it's for high setting. Same thing for the heater. If you want it on low, you push it down. If you want it for high, you push it up. The problem is when you put it in your vehicle and things are moving around and you're moving around, you might accidentally hit it up or down, and once you plug it in, you're not aware of that, so it'll just start blowing. And this is one of those things where, like, you have to be holding it. Like, you can't turn it on then run to it to grab it. Like, it's gonna be moving around. So I'm gonna put it on high and just let it dangle, and then that starts to happen. So there's a few times where I didn't check that it's on the neutral setting or off setting, and I go and turn it on or plug it in, and it just starts blowing. So I'll immediately unplug it, go back to the blower, make sure it's on off, and then go back and plug it back in. Aside from that, though, that's probably the biggest thing with these features. I mean, you know, I've had it for, I think, 2 months now. Like, the only other thing that I could think of that might happen if I'm not careful is if it falls down and it hits one of these toggles here and it breaks off. That's the only thing I can think of, but like everything is kind of like removable, so I'm sure they have like replacement parts. Again, I didn't check. I'll check when it breaks, but that's probably the next thing that I can think of. The hose connector, I haven't taken it off since I purchased it, just because I don't need to. But it's good quality. It's like, the hose is good quality. Like, I definitely enjoy, like, it's sturdy, it's clamped, it's not going anywhere. It's never kind of just, you know, took off on its own. Unlike the Vac and Blow that I have from Metro, the hoses are super cheap, like really cheap. And not that it's, you know, the vacuum in itself is good for what it is, but the hoses just come very, very cheap. And even the replacement ones, or like the ones you can buy, still, like, they're not the sturdiest, you know, super rigid. So these ones I'm actually super happy about, because, and again, I haven't removed it since I put it on. Like, I just don't want to deal with that because it's kind of like lengthy and stuff. So I just keep it on 24/7, and I've had zero issues with it coming off or it rotating off or anything like that. And this is actually a big help, because one, it gives you a better grip once you actually turn it on. But what's also good about it is when you turn on the heater, as I said earlier in the video, you will want to be holding onto this, because it will actually get uncomfortable. It's not going to burn your hand, calm down now, but it will be uncomfortable for you to grab anything, another part aside from just this, because it is heating up. So as far as what I've been using for, other things that I have used it for, which is not a big deal, is when you're working on the outside, or even the interior, but you want just a clean surface around the vehicle. So it does help to just use this to blow things around, like the leaves or debris, and just clear the area. So I had a call, weird transition, I completely forgot where I left off, but I'm pretty much summed everything up. So overall though, just as a general, someone comes to me, hey, Do you recommend this blower? It's called a motorcycle dryer, not a blower, but it blows. So it's $85. It's not expensive compared to other things on the. This is not expensive at all. So if you don't have an air compressor, if you're just getting started, do I recommend this? I would say yes across the entire board because it's such a versatile tool. It's $85, I think. Not expensive, very small, compact. It comes with wheels if that's what you want. Again, I've said this 3-4 times now. It's not gonna be the big boy. It's not gonna be the Master Blaster. It's not gonna dry off the entire vehicle. Just know what you're purchasing. That's the important part. If you're, and the problem with tools and products and such is that, like, okay, look, it's black, it's compact, cool, right? Then you get, like, you see the Master Blaster and you see the big boy and you're like, oh, well, that looks so cool. Look who's using it. Oh, look at the color scheme. Oh, you'll be a real professional if you use that one. And then you get this dumb mindset of like, oh, but I really want that brand. Like, so if you want to spend $200, $300, $400, $500, that's on you. But, it's not always about the brand or the tools. Like, does this work? Like, does this piece of equipment do what I need it to do? And a lot of you complain about like what things don't do, what you can't do, and a lot of times you're like, oh, what's the tool or product? It's like, dude, it's not that this sucks, it's most likely that you suck, and you can't get the results that you want with what you have. And if you're always looking for something else to get you those results, if you're always looking for that next thing to help you get those results, you're probably not gonna get it. Or if it does give you those results, there's probably a lot of redundancy in your process that's getting you to those results, right? So anyways, highly recommend it, $85. Link will be down in the description box down below. Let me know how you like it, if you don't like it, what your pros or cons are, and I'll see you on the next one.